To make a long story short, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. And after the age of 5, my mother, 2 younger brothers, and I moved to the boogie down Bronx, and that's where I learned how to survive and thrive. Oftentimes, when my younger brother and I would come home from school, we had to step over people in our building hallway using drugs and acting a fool. And sometimes that foolery took place in our own house. But I kept my eyes on the prize. These New York City streets were filled with creativity, and I was inspired. As a young girl, I wanted to be a singer and a teacher. Then there were days you couldn't tell me I wouldn't be a preacher. So it twists and turns and ups and downs. As a preteen, my mother, 2 younger brothers, and I were Orangeburg, South Carolina bound. Orangeburg introduced me to mentors and teachers who cared. They told us students of the challenges and hardships our ancestors had to bear just for us to get an education. Shout out to Orangeburg Wilkinson High School. Oh, Orangeburg Wilkinson, maroon and orange are colors true. And a special shout out to Dr. June Manning Thomas, one of the first pupils of the eye to desegregate my high school, making my education possible. So with twists and turns and ups and downs, I was Durham, North Carolina bound, paper chasing a bachelor's degree. I received a full basketball scholarship and got to go to Duke University for free. To make a longer story shorter, by the time year 2011 rolled around, I was back in New York City living a life straight out of a dream. Singing gigs in New York City, Italy, Germany, and France, just to name a few. But I started to self-reflect, and my old wants and desires no longer rang true. My best friend from high school was worried about me, so she came to visit. She told me she had become a Baha'i, and I said, "Oh, really now? What exactly is it?" She said they care about children and the youth and the unity of mankind. Aren't those your same truths? Out of curiosity, I decided to attend a Baha'i meet and greet. I took a seat and noticed a woman I had last seen 11 years prior at Duke University. She wasn't a Baha'i then, but she is one now, I see. The universe knows I only move when I see divine signs, and at that moment I was no longer lost. Divine timing helped me be found, and by the time year 2013 rolled around, I was Davison, Michigan bound. What began as a 3-month term of service at Llewellyn High School magically transformed into 3 of the best years of my life. And during this time, I reconnected with a friend from Detroit whom I had met in New York, and I became his wife. So with twists and turns and ups and downs, my husband and I were South America bound. One day while I was outside meditating and praying, I saw Mr. Gordon Naylor's face. He is a principal I had met at Llewellyn. Universe, what of this do I make? Now I have to tell my husband that I'm being spiritually summoned away to serve. He gave me his blessing, said he would remain faithful. We gave each other our word. What began as a 1-semester assignment turned into several semesters of Canadian bliss. Yet again, I was summoned away to fulfill a dream of mine to serve in the cities of Detroit and Flint. The students in Flint and Detroit introduced me to their resilience, talent, openness, and intelligence. Our bond was so strong, COVID-19 couldn't keep us apart. Never knew a people who had been through so much could have such big and loving hearts. I am so happy that helping children and youth are a part of my mission, and I'm even more grateful because all of our stories are still being written. To be continued. The end.